So, like, how long have you been on the Primal diet for?
Honestly, only until recently, because I was struggling to like find like a source, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because honestly, like in like the Florida area, there's honestly not that much places, especially where I'm at. And then it wasn't until like Frank Tufano.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I got his stuff, and then I was low key like fucking with it. So, and plus, like the funny thing is too was like the people were low key clowning on me, saying that I was gonna get sick. But that day that I ate it, I was not hungry throughout the rest of the day, which was like pretty crazy. Because usually, like, I'm always hungry.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, when I started eating more carbs, I would get more hungry. But when I was just straight carnivore, I was able to eat like 2 meals a day and not be hungry. And it was like so good because I would just wake up and eat breakfast and then eat lunch, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I still eat carbs, but in moderation. Even though, like, I will agree, like, for the longevity purpose of it, you shouldn't really consume carbohydrates. You know what I mean? Like, I do definitely agree with that statement. But because I like work out and go to the gym, even though like man-made weights, but I mean, that's why I like enjoyed it doing.
Yeah.
I do eat like carbohydrates, but I try to eat like honey, dates, especially.
Yeah.
And if I was going to eat some sort of like glucose, I would just eat dextrose straight up and no like filler, like crap.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I went straight carnivore, but then I incorporated carbs because I realized that it is pretty crucial because I do work out too. I work out like twice a week, but it is pretty crucial for working out, and I think it is like plays a pretty good role in like growing while you're still like in puberty. You're 17, right? Are you still growing?
I would say I turned 18 in September.
Yeah, so like I know my growth plates are still open, so I still think like that incorporating a good amount of carbs is pretty good for growing. So what do you think about that? Do you think it's pretty good?
What do you mean?
Like incorporating
carbohydrates
during puberty?
My take on carbohydrates especially is that our body really craves it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's kind of sad that the big corporations kind of manipulated this, because like they literally have like an entire field dedicated to seeing like what like, because you know how they load like their foods with all these additives and these sweeteners and whatnot.
Yeah.
They literally have like an entire like team made for getting you addicted to it, because they know that like your body gets addicted to sugar, so they almost manipulate it into make you like these other things, especially like these kids. Like you see that they're like glued to their phones, they're like glued to like unhealthy foods.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my mom's like, well, what are you going to do with your kids whenever you raise them and they want like candy? But as long as they aren't incorporated with candy, they're fine, because they're like, how are you going to crave something you haven't done?
Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't even let my kid get near candy or any of these processed foods until they get older, and by then when they're older they already know that they're horrible for their health, and I wouldn't even want to see them. I mean I would do as much as I can, but I really think that like the media does push against sugar a lot, and that's something to think about, because why would the media push against sugar like a lot if it doesn't have some like beneficial like side effects? I do know that a lot of the studies that they're using like high fructose corn syrup to disprove sugar, but I do think it has some benefits when you're eating like a good ratio, like with fruits that has like a 1-to-1 glucose and fructose ratio. So I do think there's some like stuff to think about there. And yeah, so what is your reaction to like when you eat raw meat at school? Like what is the like most crazy reaction you've gotten?
Probably like a girl about to throw up and my teacher was like, put it away.
Did a teacher go up to you and tell you to put it away? That's funny.
I mean, me and her are like chill, so it's not like she was mad. Yeah. She was like, Andrew, you're doing too much, basically.
Yeah.
But and it's funny because literally yesterday or 2 days ago, she was talking about how she like doesn't eat the tuna at Subway because like she said that she saw online that even the FDA doesn't even know what's inside the tuna.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not real tuna. And then she was going on how the chicken at Chick-fil-A isn't real. And I was like, now are you finally trying to like now do you finally understand? Like,
yeah.
It's so funny to me how quickly people are to be against like raw foods in general, or even like a carnivore related diet, but will continue consuming these things that like should even be consumed.
Exactly. Like they'll just completely destroy their health. And like I get it. Like there's some like foods that like raw primals go against, but like I feel like people forget, like even raw primals forget how much like grain goy swap like regular people eat like on a day-to-day basis.
Oh,
Like
don't get me started with grains too. Like,
yeah.
I don't like. Did your school lunches start incorporating more grains in their lunches, like after like Obama?
I don't even keep track of it. Like it is my school lunch is insane, and it's to a point where like I don't even know, like there is nothing healthy I don't think I could eat. Like I don't even think I could survive if I had to eat my school lunch. Like possibly the only thing I could eat is like a chicken sandwich, but it's still fried, and I would just eat the chicken. Like it's insane. But I do know what you mean when Obama, I think it was Obama's wife started incorporating like more
Yes,
veggies
yes,
and
yes,
grains.
yes. And like that was the worst thing ever. And I was like, why are they literally no? Because one thing that I strongly like dislike is that they put grains in it. So not only are grains unhealthy, they put grains in it and be like, okay, we have a cookie or Cheez-Its,
Yeah.
but we're gonna add grains in it, and it's healthy now.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
It,
And then also on top of that, school lunches, it's completely horrible. Like I know like some like for like breakfast, for example, sometimes there's literal like toaster strudels.
yeah.
And like when you think about it, like to the average person like who's like I don't want to call people sheep, whatever, but like really just like fit into society, you know what I mean? They like don't really see that as an issue, but when you really like look it down to in our ancestral state, like why, like that's not okay.
Exactly. I mean, I think it's just insane that people are this brainwashed that like they don't see what's going on around them. Like you really like companies are really, and it's not even the school's fault. I know that schools are like convinced by other outside companies to just buy like big large breakfast bulks and this is all you need to serve students, but it's just trash. All of it's trash. Even the egg sandwiches, there's like stuff in the eggs, it's not even real, it's trash, and that's what they're feeding all their kids, and then they realize why all these health problems are like going up, and it's crazy. It's like
Oh yeah, I know. And then I mean, because that's what they really want. They want you to eat, become unhealthy. You go to your doctor, you get prescribed something, and then you have to stay on it in order to survive. It's
exactly, yes, I know. So like do people like recognize you as like a Chad eating raw meat guy now? That you started eating like
I,
raw meat?
I know a lot of my friends pointed that out in the comments. They were like saying that like, look at the comments, bro, because people were like, notice how he looks better and mogs everyone.
Yeah.
I kind of found that funny. And then yeah, it's funny. There's this kid I dap up at school, and he calls me Meat Man now.
That's funny. Bro, I would eat raw meat, or like I would just eat like healthier in general. And I have a friend group, and my closest friend actually like is starting to do it because he actually believes in the health. He's like up with Face IQ and stuff, and like I don't know, he's like in looks maxing, so he's starting to do it, which is pretty cool. But my other friends are like gym cells, so they always shell me when I'm like talking about like looks maxing. And I don't mean like gym cells like working out like here and there. I mean like they're going to the gym 6 times a week and just they're like eating mass weight gainer and stuff, and like
Oh yeah, I used to do that, and literally, you feel like crap. You
Exactly.
look like crap. You're just full of acne. You're like, oh, why do I have acne? Why do I feel bloated? It's like the gym, especially like one thing I will agree, because like you know the people who are like goatus that are like, oh, it's man-made weights. You shouldn't even work out.
yeah, I don't really agree with that like to an extent. Like
Yeah.
I do know that he is right in a way that if you don't work out,
Yeah.
you're gonna live longer than someone who does work out. But I do think there's a lot of benefits with like your looks. Like obviously, I feel
No.
like women do like a man with like a little bit more muscle and stuff.
I know exactly.
And I feel like it's
And-
necessary for you to like put on muscle now, because I feel like it'd be a lot easier way back when to put on muscle when we're a lot more natural. We'd have like way more testosterone naturally.
Yeah, and that's what was the point that I was trying to hit, is that's like we both can agree that working out is pretty much like unnatural, right?
Yeah.
But now we're put into a very unnatural society, because back then it was more natural. Now we're put into this like big social media driven society to where like you're now standards, because like a very interesting thing to think about is that humans really weren't meant to see themselves. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I have heard that before.
I know. And now we look wherever, TV screens, whenever they're turned off, you could see yourself. There's mirrors, there's cameras, there's everything. And so now you're comparing yourself to others, when back in the day, the only way that you could really see yourself is by maybe a shiny rock or water. And so I do agree that, like, for the people who are like, oh, the gym's complete cope, you should never work out, I feel like that is true back in the day. But in order to adapt to the world now, you kind of need to.
Exactly, yeah. I do agree with that. I think there are some exceptions, like if you have incredible bone mass and you're like 6'5", yeah, you probably don't need to work out, obviously. And like if you look good anyway and you're like that tall, but like look around, they're like, that is very rare, and a lot of people do need to work out just to like look smacks. And it's crazy how rare it is just to see like a normal human. Like a normal human would be around 6'3" to 6'5" and have incredible bone mass. If he didn't drink raw milk, that's probably how tall I think they'd be. And it's crazy how like that's like a specimen. That's probably like someone who would become like very famous today.
Yeah. And then also it's literally, whenever the people that are always like, oh, raw milk this, why raw milk than pasteurized milk, literally one like little Google search, you're like raw milk versus pasteurized milk, you see like the lactase enzyme eliminated, lactorphan especially, like isn't like, I believe lactorphans are really essential mineral, I believe, I don't know what it is exactly, and that's literally gets completely annihilated whenever you pasteurize it.
Exactly.
And so
then you just have people online talking about how none of the nutrients are destroyed, by the way, and they don't know what they're talking about. I don't know where it even comes from. It doesn't really make that much sense. But
some of the people in my comment section were saying how cooking like gives you more nutrients, and someone commented, bro, how does something get more nutrients? It's like matter can't be created or destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was definitely a fallacy, I remember, because I actually saw that in school, like from my health teacher. It was a couple years back, about how cooking brings you more nutrients. And it was from my health teacher too, and it was crazy. Back then I didn't really care about it that much, but I do remember it, and it was like how we're more adapted to it and stuff, and it makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, it just really is like, it's crazy to think about. I mean, you just look at the nutrient profile, it's just absolutely destroyed.
I know, and literally it's kind of like brutal, especially how brainwashed it is. Like the fact that it's not only that it's like someone could, like, for example, like maybe you could see stuff and be like, okay, maybe that's healthy. I could kind of see where they're going. Literally, like people, like I've seen it face to face, that I've seen more people like drink, and do these like bad activities. And like, I'm not saying they get praised for it, but it's almost like, oh yeah, like that's what they do, like, oh, like, yeah, like they brush it off. But the moment you like drink raw milk, no.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why aren't more people, like, say there's a video of a guy drinking like a Monster Energy drink, why aren't more people like shitting on him for that? Like, there should be millions of people, if it's like a famous video, there should be millions of people in the comments like talking about how horrible it is for you. But as soon as you drink an actual natural drink, you're just like shit on. Like, it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
And then I just love like the parasite cope. Like, it's the funniest thing ever.
Once you read Ogenes's like all of his like studies and stuff about parasites, it becomes a lot more clear. It's
here, yeah. Look at this. If it pulled up, look at this. So look. So right, like you obviously seen this where carnivores and like let me see if I could get a better one. That. Look, right, the human's pH is around like 1.5, or it's around like, okay, we could agree that the human's pH level is below 4, right?
Yeah.
99% of parasites were killed with a pH less than 4.
Oh yeah, I know. I've
It-
actually that was crazy, and that's why like we literally are so close to vultures. Like vultures pH
Dude, I
are
know.
1.5. Like we could. That's why I think like we are so like adapted. Like we could almost eat like fermented foods, like stuff like that. Even fermented. Like that's why so many people eat fermented like raw meat and stuff, and they're fine because our pH is so low. We're almost scavengers, but we're not. We're close to hunters. We're hunters obviously, but we could be scavengers in some cases.
I believe the term is hypercarnivores.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where it's like we could like, because like other animals, they're like limited to what they can eat because of like how they how they hunt, whatever.
Yeah.
And how they live. While like humans were able to like, we're basically the apex predators.
Exactly. Yeah, we are like, I feel like we're like an all around like, so exactly what it means. Like we're an all around hunter. Like we're an apex predator, but we could survive off anything. Theoretically, we could. Not like for centuries, but like over and over again over lifetimes. So we could survive off everything. Like a lot of animals can't really survive as much as we can, and obviously we live longer than animals. So that's still crazy. Imagine you're at the top of the food chain, and there's some people out there who think that we should be eating like plant-based, or people who think that we shouldn't be eating that much meat, even though we're the top of the food chain. If we're the biggest hunters ever, the top of the food chain, we dominate the world, why wouldn't we eat meat? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
I know. And what's your thoughts on vegetables though? Like obviously like broccoli, horrible. like literally broccoli, cabbage, whatever, they all come from modified mustard plants. Like
Yeah.
whenever I was telling people that like broccoli doesn't even exist and it's a modified mustard plant, they were like, wait, what?
I know people don't even know. Like that's insane. And I told my parents that, and they didn't even believe me.
I know. It's
But
so bad.
my opinion on vegetables, obviously, they're trash. I would say, like, if everyone came, even if like everyone came in the entire world though, and they started eating way more meat, milk, they ate some vegetables and starches here and there, everyone would get way more healthier, and it'd be a lot better than eating processed junk. I feel like potatoes are fine to some extent. Like starches, I feel like can be a lot more better than vegetables, just because like it's better because you're getting more carbs, and if you cook them all the way through, you're getting a lot less anti-nutrients, while when you're having like vegetables, you're getting a lot more fiber and less anti-nutrients, and we don't need fiber obviously, and carbs would be a lot more better. So I feel like if you had to eat anything, it would be like potatoes, maybe some rice, stuff like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree, and it's funny because look what I have. Like people think it's pretty silly. I have like a 50-pound bag. I mean, that's like my 50-pound bag of dextrose right there. Oh, let me turn on light. I have like a 50-pound bag of dextrose, and then like a 50-pound bag of like potato starch.
Oh, what? Wait, why do you got that?
What? The potato starch?
Yeah.
Oh, because I know people do it where they cool it, where like they get a potato and then they cool it in the fridge, and then it becomes a resistant starch, and your gut microbiome actually feeds off it.
Oh,
So it is pretty cool.
I haven't heard that before. Wait, where'd you hear that? I would love to.
So basically, I like, cause I have like, I mean, a lot of people like, especially carnivore, they're against supplements, but like looks maxing and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like tend to have like a lot of supplements, like astaxanthin, for example, and whatnot. And potato starch is shown to help out your gut microbiome. Here, let me look it up. Because it's a resistant starch whenever it's not cooked.
Yeah.
And you could find resistant starches in raw plantains, like green plantains.
Yeah.
Rice when it's cooled, potatoes when it's cooled, and it's basically indigestible, but it's not like fiber where it like just like pushes your like stuff out.
Yeah.
Your gut microbiome actually feeds off it, and there's like a whole list of benefits like reduce visceral fat, reduce liver fat, and it actually helps with insulin sensitivity as well.
Oh, that's actually cool to hear about. Wait, where'd you hear that from? I would love to see that.
I saw it on YouTube. I could send you the link.
All right.
But yeah, so I'm looking it up. So the potato is primarily type 2 resistant starches, and those are like the better one. But if you want to have a look at this real quick, like it's got digestive health benefits.
Yeah.
It's help people with type 2 because like blood sugar, weight because it's like gut microbiome.
Nice.
And so it is pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I love learning like new stuff, and I'm all in it for like. You got some orange juice, huh?
No, carrot juice.
Oh, carrot juice, nice.
Yes, sir.
Do you do like the autogenous like vegetable juices and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I try whenever I'm not lazy.
Yeah.
Oh, and then one thing I will agree with though with vegetables, and I was gonna like talk about this, but I guess we could talk about it now, is about salt and how salt itself is toxic.
Yeah.
And so especially if we're I would say if we're artificially working out, because you know how we assess that is kind of like artificial.
Yeah.
Your body is going to kind of need more electrolytes.
Yeah.
And you agree that like salt's toxic, like you already know all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so how do you pronounce his name? Adornis? I always forget. Adonis. Adonis. All right, there we go. All right, where Adonis even promoted celery juice due to its sodium content, because as we know, like eating salt straight up is bad for you. We aren't plants. It's got like an LD value of 50, and so celery particularly contains like a lot of sodium. I mean, when you take a bite out of celery or drink celery juice, it tastes like salt. Yeah. But it's got like natural sodium, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of agenesis like things about like vegetable juices, because I was like very confused when I was like starting my primal like diet, and I was like, all right, so I'm just gonna eat like meat, fruit, stuff like that, and then I saw like that the biggest influencer, or not influencer, but the biggest scientist on it was eating vegetable juices. So like when I started getting into it, I was like very hesitant about it, but I did see like all of his studies, they're like pretty good. And I would say if you had to eat vegetable juices like carrot and what is it? What's the other one? Celery. Celery are pretty good ones. I wouldn't know about parsley that much. I really hate like parsley. I know he drank some parsley juice.
Oh yeah, that is questionable just because it's not even like a vegetable, it's like a leaf.
Yeah. I know. And like I would say like if I was like talking from my perspective, I would be like, whoa, there's no way you can have health benefits from like carrots and celery juice. But after seeing his studies, like it's hard to ignore, honestly, and it does make sense with the electrolyte content and stuff like that. I know that carrot juice is definitely the best because it's a root vegetable, and we used to have to eat them sometimes back in our like ancestor days or whatever. So yeah.
And something else to back up carrots is the same thing I use to argue with people that are like, oh, why are vegetables unhealthy? Is that when you look at vegetables, like be real to yourself, does that look appetizing?
Yeah.
It's green, it looks like grass, and tastes bad. But something like fruit, it's bright and colorful, and carrots are also bright and colorful. Same with like beets too. I'm pretty sure like beets are like, isn't like a B tier in rankings. I'm pretty
sure it's pretty like high up on like acceptable.
That it's like by looking at it, and it looks appealing, that's a really good indicator that it's made to be eaten.
And I think that's like a thing because we used to have to eat root vegetables if we were starving, so we are a little bit more adaptive to them. And you know, beets and carrots are root vegetables, so like obviously we're gonna find them more like appealing than like leaves and stuff. We didn't used to eat. We wouldn't even think about eating leaves. We'd die off in starvation before we even tried to eat leaves. So It's crazy.
Oh, and then with the vegetable juices, isn't it made to like alkalize the body because they're put in this like toxic environment with all these like endocrine disruptors, and as you know, like our body's pH level needs to be at like I forgot what it was, but it can't. It's like if it's 0.2 off, you're dead.
Yeah.
And so it helps alkalize the body and lower the pH.
Yeah, I've heard that before, and I think it's pretty good. What do you think about like fermented foods? Like, how often are you eating fermented foods, and how often are you eating like organs and stuff like that?
Oh, well, sadly, this is literally the biggest nerf with Accutane, even though it may not be natural. I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
I like whatever. I mean, I tried other methods. It just kind of went away. So I'm just doing it. You can't eat vitamin A when doing Accutane because Accutane is isotretinoin, which is a form of retinol, which is a form of vitamin A. And so you can't really consume liver really on it.
Damn.
Because liver.
Accutane. That sucks.
Oh yes. Yeah, so that's why people are against it. But it's funny because like a lot of people don't know this is, so you know how retinol is a form of vitamin A,
Yeah.
or if you don't now you know. Dermatologists specifically and like people in general, like health professionals, advise you to stay away from vitamin A foods or supplements because you're already getting it with Accutane and or isotretinoin, however you want to call it, and so you don't want to interfere with vitamin A toxicity.
Yeah.
And they are even against carrots because but that's cope and not true because carrots are the vitamin A that carrots are made out of is beta carotene, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Beta carotene is an inactive form of vitamin A. Our body has to process it into a more active form of vitamin A. But our body has like regulators that signal to like our body. So let's say I have a lot of vitamin A, which I do right now, right? From the Accutane. My body isn't going to process the beta carotene into active vitamin A because there's already so much of it.
Yeah.
So it's fine to consume beta carotene. And then also some people actually don't have like the genetic to where they could really utilize the vitamin A in carrots because their body just doesn't allow it to. So a lot of people don't know that, which is...
I've seen the studies for beta carotene, and it's like 50% of people can, and the other 50% can't. And of those 50% of people who can, they only like absorb like 2% of the beta carotene. It's not even that much. It's like barely any. And I've seen like the studies on it. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I think the healthier people definitely can do it more, just because like they're able to survive better. But yeah.
Oh, and then to get back with people, like some people can genetically transfer it, some people can't. It's the same thing with the people that are against carbohydrates, and they promote like, oh, your body creates glucose through glycogenesis. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's also genetic at the end of the day. Some people, their body's glycogenesis is crap, while others are really good.
Yeah.
And so for one person to have really good glycogenesis, to be like, hey, you need to never eat carbs because their body's already making carbs for them.
Yeah.
For another person that their body can't do it as well, for them, like supplementing or consuming carbohydrates would actually benefit them more. Exactly. Because their body's lacking that. So that kind of like also defeats another like cope of no carbs.
Yeah, and I also think like obviously when I get older, I'm gonna limit my carbs. So I'm still gonna eat them like almost year round. And I've been looking into glucogenesis and stuff like that. And I have like a tiny little theory that like glucogenesis is like a survival thing. So like obviously you create carbs from your body or whatever glucose to survive, but that's to survive. Like what if you need carbs year round to thrive? Like we know that we grew up in the tropics, so that like we developed in the tropics mostly, so we ate carbs year round, and there are like some signs that carbs help more with your brain if you're eating more, and other like different parts, like the energy from your fat and glucose subsequent to the Randall cycle actually can work together unless you're eating like high amounts. Like if you're eating high amounts of like what is it, corn syrup or whatever, and you're eating high amounts of fat, then yeah, the Randall cycle is gonna be activated. But like if what do you think about that? Like what do you think about the Randall cycle and incorporating carbs and fat?
I think I'm like with you. It's both the right and wrong. I feel like it's correct if you're going to the extent in a meal you're having like high fats, high carbs.
Yeah.
But no one should really be doing that, because when you consume carbohydrates, you should eat it before and after your workouts, like pretty much only. Like whenever you eat carbohydrates and you work out, you should only eat it around, and before you work out, you shouldn't really eat any protein or fats, because it digests slow, and you really don't want to have food digesting when you work out. That's I saw this I don't know her username, but she's like mutuals with me on TikTok, and I saw her like being like, oh, this is my pre-workout meal, and it's her eating like 2-3 raw eggs. Yeah. And like I was just there thinking like none of that's being digested.
Exactly, yeah. I have a thing with sweep for that, because before I go to bed, that's actually when I incorporate the most carbs. So I have carbs before my workouts, but on days I don't work out, I actually incorporate a lot of carbs before I go to sleep as my last meal. So I drink like milk, because I want my body to grow while I'm sleeping, and not I wanted to use all my energy to grow and not use any energy to digest protein, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I see. And I already have this poll up because I was going to get to it. You should start eating majority of your carbs after your workouts.
Really? Oh yeah, I do eat some. I know I eat carbs before and after. But why?
Do you
after?
Do you know what the GLUT4 transport chain is?
Yeah.
Oh, like so you do. Do you know when it's most activated?
No, I don't.
It's after your workouts, basically, is when it's most, yeah. And so I guess because of the video, the people listening, the GLUT4 transport chain is basically what tells your body to, because like when you eat carbs, it gets converted into glucose. The glucose gets converted to glycogen. It basically tells your body, let's put the glucose in our muscle glycogen and actually utilize the carbohydrates rather than it just going into fat cells. And that's more activated here. Let me show. It's most activated after post-exercise.
Yeah, I did. I think I actually did. I didn't know that, but I think that's like the reason that I ate carbs after. I kind of just heard about it from a video about how you should eat carbs before.
No, yeah. No, I know. I've heard about carb backloading, and I knew it was a thing, but I never really understood it, because I was more under the impression, why wouldn't you just want to eat carbs before you work out, you know? Yeah. But then when you realize that, like, okay, maybe those carbohydrates aren't actually being what you want it to be used for.
Yeah.
And that when you get near like at the end of like physical activity where you physically exert yourself.
Yeah.
Like that, like it makes more sense, because it's like, and a lot of people don't like know this either. So.
Yeah, that's some pretty good knowledge. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
Where do you get like all of your like good food from? Like, do you just go to the like market, or do you get it shipped, or do you have like a farmer? Like, where are you getting from?
So for my eggs, I sadly ran out, which is such a shame. I need to ask them for more.
Damn, that's ran out of eggs too.
My neighbor's friend has chickens, and they bless us up with their eggs. Like come like to our house with like their farm eggs, and it's so great. Also, I mean, getting like grass-fed, grass-finished meats at like I guess a grocery store.
Yeah.
I tried to, even though that is kind of questionable, because it's I'm pretty sure wasn't there a thing with like Vital Farms that it's like they're kind of like scam.
Yeah, they went like mainstream or something. Like they sold to a company, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, freaking all these companies like the healthy chips, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got bought out. Yeah. And then with the freaking chickens, like the chickens, like you know the company Tyson,
Yeah, yeah.
like the chickens that they have. I saw a video about it. Like those chickens, bro, they live to like a week, or else they become paralyzed because their legs can't handle the amount of meat they have.
Oh yeah, I know. I have seen that. I've heard about that. I actually heard about that from like watching like a vegan video in one of my classes. I was just watching it for fun because like they were showing it, and I saw that. It kind of made me laugh, but it was kind of wasn't fucked up, but it's just like, why am I eating that? You know what I
I
mean?
know. Yeah.
I don't even eat
All right,
like, chicken anymore. Like I had health problems like when I was carnivore, like eating chicken, and like I would actually get acne from it, so I stopped eating it. Like I only eat it like max like once a week.
Well, I mean, honestly, to be fair, chicken itself is kind of like, when in terms of like nutrition, like it's mainly just protein.
Yeah.
So there's nothing else to it besides protein.
Yeah.
And then also, what's your thoughts on raw chicken?
I've personally never had it. I've never been able to access that good of chicken, and I've never.
Yeah. I was
get
gonna
most
get
of my
to that.
food shipped, so I could, but I don't because I don't know. I mean, it kind of does look appetizing, but I don't know. I just always been a beef guy, I guess. I've never tried raw chicken. I want to try it, but
I know I'm yet to try it, and it is kind of again skeptical because you do gotta make sure that the place you're getting it's like basically praising the chickens. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I've heard that the like kind of like the main reason why chicken itself is very like sickening or it causes you to be sick a lot is because it really detoxes your body.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've heard of that. How much is that true? I don't know, but that's just from what I've heard, that the reason why like the chicken specifically compared to red meat's more like makes you maybe feel sick at like afterwards is because your body's like detoxing itself. So it's almost like fermented foods,
Yeah.
where people argue that it's detoxing your body and that's why you may feel sick
Yeah.
after you eat it, but then later on you feel better.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't really have an opinion on that since I've never.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna go on a side because again, same thing here. I don't have too much of a like knowledge on it, but that's from what I've heard.
What do you think about the meat tick? Do you think it's true? Because I know you're in Florida, and it's like, it's the most cases are in half of America, like the half we're on. So do you think it's
No.
true? I've heard like things about how like the vaccine that they give it because they give you something to like treat it could be the
So-
cause
so-
of, like, the condition or something. But what do you think?
So I mean, like, are you asking? Do I think the disease is real?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 100%. But I also do think that it was like biologically made. Oh, let me look it up.
I used to be a believer that I thought like it wasn't real. Like I thought like whatever they gave the thing that gave us was the thing. But my teacher's best friend literally told me like the day that his best friend got bit by a meat tick, and he said he didn't even know, he didn't even go to the doctor. He ate a piece of steak and he got sent to the hospital, and it was crazy because he was a hunter, and all these hunters are getting these meat ticks because they sit like for hours in the woods. And I think it's fucked up, honestly.
Yeah, and I definitely do think it's government made. Like I looked it up. Lyme disease was first discovered in like the 1970s and first identified in the 1981.
Yeah.
So like, are you saying before, like all the way before that, before we had like all this technology to like biological warfare, it just didn't exist?
Yeah,
And then
no sense. And I know like the cases of it are rising like substantially this year. Like that's
I know, and then And then I know, and it's so great that people are finally starting to awake. Like I have a friend in class today that was literally telling me like, "Yo, did you see about the tick outbreak?" And then coincidentally, they're now making a Lyme disease vaccine. Like, wow, thank you, government. Like, wow, perfect timing.
Bro, I think like there's a theory that soon they will make like a Lone Star tick vaccine, and like it's trending, it's being promoted everywhere, and soon they will get it. And since even normies are scared of it because everyone loves meat, everyone's gonna get it. What do you think about that? That's like my prediction, honestly, because we already know about the COVID vaccine.
I mean, sooner or later it's gonna happen. I would say, kind of me getting like not introduced, because like it's always been like the back of my head, but kind of me getting like very, very skeptical about vaccines hasn't only been to recently, so I can't really make an assumption. Because there's this guy at the gym that I work out with. He's like around like 63. He has a pass, and like he used to do like he wasn't a psychiatrist, but he had some field in like pharmacology or whatnot, so he's pretty like up to date on medicine. And he doesn't believe in vaccines. And then when he kind of told me the explanation or whatever, it's kind of like awoken me, I guess that can make sense, where it's like, what the like that's that like I don't really know how to argue against that. And so like, especially some of the vaccines definitely do seem fishy, you know, especially because it's like so promoted. It's like, oh, it's free, it's free, it's free.
Yeah.
You see advertisements like what other thing gets promoted and you get it for free? You know what I mean? Like nothing else. Like if that was the case and they care about our health, they would be promoting good, healthy foods.
Exactly.
So it's like, you can't make that argument saying that like, oh, it's for the greater good of other people. They could do so many other things. Why are they promoting alcohol on commercial television?
Yeah.
I never understand, especially alcohol in general. It's the most weirdest thing.
They're promoting nothing healthy on the mainstream TVs. Like on commercials, nothing healthy at all. It's crazy, and people really believe everything they see on TV. That's what's being promoted.
No, I know. And, I mean, freaking, like, now that you say it, literally everything on TV, everything I hear on my AirPods, because I have Spotify, but I listen to SoundCloud at time to time.
Yeah.
All the ads are like, it's literally never anything healthy or anything beneficial. It's either pharmaceuticals or McDonald's now, their McDouble being $2.50. Like, it's
crazy. I mean, people need to wake up, bro. It's actually insane.
I know, and it's just so silly, because it's like people like I'm glad that people are like finally like not like listening to me fully, but they're like finally being like, wait, you might be onto something.
Yeah.
And it's like yeah. And it's like, to explain this to like the regular person, it's like, you sound crazy, but it's like everything you do day to day is man-made.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we're like forced to do it. Like, even if we didn't want to, be forced to. I mean, we're not really forced, but we technically are. If we didn't, then we'd just be on the streets eventually, homeless.
Yeah, and then that'd be worse.
Yeah.
And so it's literally like, people don't realize, like, they aren't awake. Like even though they claim they're awake, they're like red pilled, but they are like it's a whole nother mindset when you realize that, like, look around you. Everything you're seeing is like man-made. Everything like you think or know has been implemented to you since you were a baby.
Yeah.
And then especially with what we are taught in schools, like, it eliminates free thinking completely. Exactly. There is no more free thinking. And then I don't know if you want to get into this, but like the certain group of people that like basically make the history books, and they edit and skew it, and I
know what you mean.
I don't want to get you shadow banned, but you know.
No, I know what you mean. We shouldn't. I don't know if we can get into that too much, but I know what you mean. Trust me, I agree.
No, trust me, I know, because bro, they're always listening. And then also, have you seen with the new cars coming out where they're gonna have like their own AI surveillance looking at you?
Oh yeah. I've even seen signs, like hardcore signs, that these new electric cars are extremely harmful for you because of radiation that they emit, and you could get like cancer very easily from them, like double, like more radiation like than ever before, like way more than AirPods. It's like having an AirPod all around you, and they're gonna switch to electric cars soon. I think that is probably a main reason why they're gonna do that.
Oh, W-mans, bro. This is. I know it's how badly do you think EMFs are? Like, I definitely do think they're like heavily like, I guess, like neurotoxic, you can say that.
Yeah.
But like, to what extent? Because I know at the end of the day it's impossible to escape them because of cell towers.
Of course.
But how much of a difference realistically would it be to wear wired earbuds compared to Bluetooth like AirPods?
Honestly, so I actually have like a case study from this for myself. This is like for myself, because I wanted to switch to wired headphones, and I was forced because my phone port was like broken or something, so I couldn't plug anything in. So I just used wireless headphones, and I was basically forced because I wanted to use wired. So I was doing it for like months because I couldn't get my port fixed, and my headaches, my brain fog was a lot worse. And I've switched for the past couple months, and it's been a lot better, like so much more better. Like I feel like my brain is cleared up, and I can like think clearly more and talk like better or whatever. So I do think it is like a big thing. I don't think it's that harmful like for your phone, obviously, or like when you're having like a laptop, but obviously when you're having EMF straight in your ear, I think it can be like pretty bad.
Oh yeah,
right in your brain.
but and then also maybe it's pretty bad whenever you have a phone in your pocket.
Yeah.
Because
I put my phone in like my back pocket. I do never put it in like my front, like next to my.
Yeah. I low-key been doing that more because it's like
I always forget, but yeah. I'm not really locked in with like taking all the phones and like stuff out when I'm sweeping, because like when I'm sweeping I low-key just forget and I just like pass out. But
yeah, and at the same time it's like you see like have you seen those memes where it's like who's the freaking you edited him in the video, the biohacker guy?
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he does all of that, like all like the negative EMFs, whatever,
Yeah.
just for like some random guy who lives to like 110 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I feel like people don't understand, like you could be like on your phone like all day, or I mean no, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying you could have like a lot of like bad habits, but if you eat good and you're getting sun, like you are still gonna live, and you don't stress like too much, like you're still gonna live a lot longer than all these people who are worrying about like every single little detail. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like literally, like diet and like sun is like basically just like the big part.
Exactly.
And then everything else is kind of like the additives.
Yeah.
And then again, like I was messaging you just earlier, it's crazy. Like I do not know a single person like in my area. I never seen someone in their backyard in my neighborhood. I never seen my friends talk about it or say that, because like I always talk to them about it, about like them just going out in the sun in the grass, like in their boxers or maybe in shorts, and just absorbing the sun and not wearing shoes. Like shoes are the funniest thing to me, especially the soles of our shoes are made out of rubber.
Yeah.
And like rubber is very strong insulator. So you're literally removing every single like potential, like how much you want to believe like the electromagnetic waves that the ground emits, which kind of has been proven by science. So it's not even like a theory. You like completely like demolish it.
Yeah, that is insane to me to think that you live in like Florida too, so it's hot all the time and people are literally like not doing that. When I went on a trip to Florida, and I don't even think like I barely had any shoes on. I had like flip-flops on when we had to go walk like in a restaurant or whatever. Like I was low-key having a good ass time in Florida, like without shoes. I was in shorts, no shirt on like the entire time. I would take that shit to advantage, like. And yeah, and now when I looked around, there weren't that many people doing that too. It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, I know. Honestly, I've been recently just starting to do it because usually at nights I usually go on walks or like a light jog.
Yeah.
For like almost like a digestion walk, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
and I no longer wear shoes anymore because I realize it. And then usually whenever I go on walks, I just walk on the side of the sidewalk in the grass.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why not? You know?
Yeah.
And literally again, and it's so funny to me again that literally barely anyone has ever made like contact with actual grass. You know what I mean? That like your day-to-day person, they aren't deliberately going outside and putting their feet in the grass and really just trying to like absorb it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me because when your ancestors, you would do that every single day. Every single day you would do that. You would wake up, do that, wake up, do that.
Yeah.
Now you never do it, or the average person never does it. And so it's like, it's a big aspect of our life that's gone.
Some people would go like almost their entire life if you lived in a city not doing that, unless you're a kid and you're playing in like the playground sometimes. But when you're grown up above 18, there will literally be people who would not do it for the rest of their life ever, and that seems just crazy to me.
I know. And then I'm not saying like I have ugly feet, but you know, like the people that like make their feet look pretty, they have like calluses or like rough skin on the bottom of their feet and they file it off. I'm like, that's so stupid. Like your body has that made for a reason.
Yeah.
And if anything, that's only going to benefit you, because literally like I walk on pebbles now and it's like I could walk on Legos and it wouldn't like hurt like or affect me that much.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's funny with the people that do that, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I do have a confession to make because I have a girlfriend and she only made me do it once, but she made me get like a pedicure. And
well, I mean, that's valid. I mean,
but I'm telling you, it felt horrible after. Like your feet feel vulnerable, like your toes like feel vulnerable or whatever.
Vulnerable, perfect word.
If you know what I mean. Like they.
No, I don't.
Like,
I don't. Perfect word.
Like they're destroyed and they're just like, they're not protected or anymore, and the grounding felt weirder. Like I don't know, it was weird.
No, it's basically having like an open wound, basically.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna incorporate more grounding though this summer. Like this summer, I'm locked in on everything. Probably gonna wake up, cause I do have like a job. Are you working this summer?
Yeah.
What's your job? What are you doing?
I work at Chipotle, so.
Oh yeah, I think I did see a video about that. Average Chipotle washer or something like that.
Yeah. Where you gonna be working at?
I'm gonna be like a busser at like a restaurant or whatever. Last year I was cooking myself because I worked 2 jobs, but now I'm just like working one. I'm trying not to like do that again because I lost sleep. I couldn't lock in and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I know. I'd be losing sleep too, but it's like, I know, it's like you kind of have to pick a sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean it's either like you lose a little bit of sleep but you make enough money to afford like a good diet, or like you don't.
Oh yeah.
Like you're just.
Oh yeah. That's the one thing about like doing this where people are like, sometimes, because like obviously I don't eat this diet like 24/7. They're like, oh, why aren't you eating? It's like, because like sometimes like I don't want to be just like spending like an entire paycheck on like a week's worth of food. I mean not like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it is pretty like not like unsustainable, but like in order to sustain it, you need to like do a lot.
In order to do it perfectly, it's almost, and it's like not impossible, but it's like extremely like.
And then you almost get like a net negative, because now you're putting like no sleep and now you're stressing because you're working 24/7.
Exactly.
And so there's almost like an equilibrium that you have to reach where it's like, okay, maybe I can't eat grass-fed, grass-finished steak tonight, but maybe I could eat like ground beef from Costco, you know?
Yeah, I do that too. I mean, sometimes I have to eat grain-fed like beef, cook it and eat it. Like it's whatever, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, I do like that kind of, that like ground beef is so cheap, like grain-fed beef is so cheap because it's kind of like a good little alternative. So I like that, but I mean, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Yeah, I know, but like usually if I do eat like ground beef like outside, I try to have like liver with it.
Yeah.
So then it kind of like, dude, it's like, especially liver too. Like no one eats liver, bro, and it's like horrible.
Actually, I have 2 teachers from my school that eat raw liver, which is pretty.
OW.
I have a pretty based. I mean, my school isn't based, but I have some pretty based teachers. Like, one of them hunts and the other one hunts, so they both eat liver and shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I was thinking about getting like into that hobby of like hunting and then eating like the actual deer.
Yeah.
And then isn't I don't know if you heard of it, deer antler velvet.
No, I haven't heard that.
It's I'm pretty sure it's like extremely healthy.
I mean, what is that? Is that like a bone marrow, deer antler velvet?
Velvet.